Welcome to another Unfiltered episode. We are now more than 6 months into the second presidency of Donald John Trump. Let that sink in. A man who incited an insurrection, who was convicted of 34 felonies, who promised to be a dictator on day one, is now back in the White House. And the chaos, the cruelty, and the collapse that we were afraid of, it's already here. He is purging federal agencies. He is threatening journalists. He is targeting immigrants, targeting protesters, targeting civil servants. Hell, anyone who won't bend the knee is a target. And where are the Democrats? Well, in my opinion, too many are missing in action. Too many are still playing defense while democracy burns. Too many are still clinging to institutions that have already been hijacked. Let me say this clearly as I can. If the Democratic Party does not radically change course right now, it will become irrelevant and this country will become unrecognizable. I'm Hendrell, and this is Politics Unfiltered. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode. Also, if there's a topic that you want to hear me tackle on this podcast, leave a comment and I'll try my best to include it in a future episode. Before I get too deep into this episode about Democrats and what we need to do, I want to make sure that I kind of give you a background on why I feel as if I can speak on this issue. I was once inside you can say the beast, the belly of the beast. I was the first black chairman of the Tennessee Democratic Party, where I was responsible for 4 years at delivering for Democrats in Tennessee and helping to deliver for Democrats all across the nation. So that's kind of the groundwork. And I'm very familiar with a lot of the players who are still in the midst and still in the arena fighting for Democrats right now. And I'm confident in the leadership. I'm confident in DNC Chair Ken Martin and his ability to be able to rally the troops in this moment. So I know we've got a good leader at the helm. The real question is, what will the party do to make sure that we're falling in line and delivering for the American people? Now that's out of the way, let's talk about where we are right now. Right now, this moment. It's July 2025. We spent the entire 2024 election telling people across the nation that we are not going back. That we weren't going back. We are not going back. That chant. We are not going back. Well, we're here, folks. And this president is not only taking us back, but he's taking us under. Hell, he's taking us up, top, down, low, all around, and then through the earth and back again. Project 2025 is no longer a threat. It's a reality. The Trump administration is actively dismantling federal agencies. They're replacing civil servants with mega loyalists. The Department of Justice has been gutted. The FBI is under political siege. The Department of Education, hell, it is waging open war on public schools and public school curriculum. Mass deportations have begun. ICE raids, hell, ICE raids are back. Bigger, broader, more violent. Families are being rounded up in broad daylight. And Trump has activated the military under the pretext of domestic unrest. And red state governors, hell, they're going right along with every single thing that this administration is doing. The media is even under assault. Trump has signed executive orders targeting so-called fake news outlets. Journalists are being surveilled. Government critics are being harassed. The First Amendment in this country is under direct daily attack, whether that's forcing a network to cancel a show or defunding PBS. It's a direct assault on the First Amendment rights in this country. If you close your eyes and someone told you what was happening with some of the things in this country, you'd think you were in Russia somewhere. You'd think that we had a dictator who was silencing the people who didn't like him and the people he didn't like. Even protests are being criminalized. States are passing laws making it illegal to gather in the streets. Disruptive protests, as they call them, are being classified as terrorism. Civil liberties are eroding by the hour. And yet, you'd think everything was business as usual if you looked at some of the Democrats. Still tweeting platitudes, still sending copy and paste fundraising emails, still acting like norms are going to somehow magically reassert themselves in the midst of all the chaos. I've got news. They won't. Because this isn't a pendulum swing this time. This is a hostile takeover. And we've got to ask what went wrong. For just a moment, let's be honest about how we got here. Donald Trump didn't just walk back into the White House because he was popular. He walked back in the White House because Democrats didn't fight like hell to stop him. We ran a cautious campaign in 2024. We, in my opinion, refused to expand the court. We let voting rights be gutted. We let red states run wild while pretending federalism was a shield. That's my opinion. And when the Supreme Court ruled in January of 2024 that past presidents have sweeping immunity for official acts, it basically gave Trump the green light to rule without fear of consequences of any kind. The warning signs were there, but Democrats kept bringing pens to a gunfight. Listen, I know that the base is furious, and let's talk about the base. The people who actually show up, knock doors, make calls, and carry this damn party. We're tired. We are angry, and we are done being taken for granted. Black voters, we showed up, and we got voter suppression. We got ignored communities and rising attacks. Younger voters, voters, they showed up. They got student loan debt back on their backs and climate policy gutted. Women, let's talk about women for a minute. Women marched. Women voted. Women organized. And now Roe is gone. IVF is under fire. And you've got men in red states trying to jail women for having a miscarriage. On issue after issue after issue, there is a stark contrast between the two parties. Let's take immigration and mass deportations, for instance. Let's talk about what's happening right now, not hypothetical. Right now in American cities, federal agents are rounding up immigrants like we're in the middle of some 1940s purge. Families are being separated, detained, deported with zero due process. Trump is doing exactly what he said he'd do. I mean, he's keeping his promise. He's doing exactly what he said he'd do. Building camps, mobilizing troops, weaponizing ICE like a private army. This isn't border enforcement. This is ethnic cleansing in a suit and tie. And if you're an ICE agent, in a face mask. And what are Democrats doing? I can tell you what. They're sending strongly worded letters, tweeting about how sad this is, holding press conference after press conference while people are literally being dragged out of their homes. Folks, where is the defiance? Where are the governors refusing to comply? Now, to his credit, Governor Newsom is out there and he's pounding the sand. He is showing defiance. He is showing that, yes, there is at least one governor out there who has a backbone. And he's joining folks like Congresswoman Crockett, who has taken a slugger to every Republican ideology that's trying to tear us apart. But I ask, where are the lawsuits? Where's the sanctuary expansions? Well, where's the emergency funding to protect these families? Republicans are using the states like a bludgeon. Democrats are using the state like a suggestion box. Even when it comes to education, and just take book bans, for instance, across America, libraries are being emptied and classrooms are being sanitized. Black history, gone. Queer stories, gone. Facts about climate change, racism, and genocide, they're erased forever. Republicans are banning books like they're afraid of children learning how to think. At least somebody in this country will be thinking. They're turning public schools into somewhat of, in my opinion, an ideological battleground where fear and propaganda replace truth and empathy. And they're starting with our children, with the smallest Americans. They're trying to embed in the youngest generation, in the next generation's head, this same ideological dysfunction that has caused the hyper-partisan chaos that we see today. And again, what are Democrats doing? What, launching read-ins and awareness campaigns, passing toothless local resolutions, begging people to vote next year, while the GOP rewrites the next generation, rewires the next generation? Let me ask you this: if you listen to this podcast, what's more dangerous, banning books or being too scared to stop it? Because if the answer is wait until the next election, folks, we're already too late. Even when it comes to the Supreme Court and how Republicans have captured the judiciary, the Supreme Court just gave Donald Trump last year near total immunity. They've kneecapped the EPA, they've stripped federal oversight, gutted abortion access, and turned elections into state-controlled circuses. We are living in the aftermath of a judicial coup, in my opinion. And the response from Democrats is, we respect the decision of the courts. No, hell no, we don't respect the decisions of the court. When the court becomes a political weapon, you don't respect it, you confront it. Court expansion should have been on the table in 2021. Now, it should be the centerpiece of every Democratic platform in 2025, 2026, and beyond. But guess what? It's not. Because they're scared of backlash, scared of being called progressive or too progressive. Meanwhile, Republicans didn't flinch when they rammed 3 justices onto the bench. They don't care about the norms, folks. They care about control. And they've got it permanently if we don't do anything. Unless we do something bold right now, they are going to have control for as long as we can imagine it. Think about that. Think about this Republican Party, this MAGA cult, these cowardice elected officials. Imagine them in control forever. Just think about that for a moment. That should scare the hell out of everybody. Let's talk about even the economy and corporate greed. Gas is up, rent is up, groceries are still through the roof. But you know what else is up? Corporate profits. CEOs are making record billions right now, while Americans are skipping meals and rationing insulin. We are living through a silent economic crisis dressed up as a market correction. Republicans, folks. Republicans. They're making it worse, cutting taxes for the rich, rolling back consumer protections, and attacking labor unions like it's the 1920s. Democrats, we're talking about inflationary pressures. We're proposing relief bills that die on the Senate floor. We're telling workers to be patient while billionaires launch rockets and buy elections. Let me be real for just a moment, because I've been inside of the machine. I've seen how this goes. If you're not ready to tax the rich, cancel the debt, and break up the monopolies, you're not ready to fix the damn economy. I'm talking to you, Democrats. If you aren't ready to do those things, and you're not ready to fix the economy. Republicans are looting the House. Democrats are rearranging the furniture, but we're being cute about it. I'll put the table over there. I'll put the lamp over there. I'll turn the blue porch light on. Democracy and authoritarianism, this isn't fear-mongering. These things are intertwined, and they are coming to a head-on collision right now as we speak. They're coming to a head-on collision. Folks, this isn't fear-mongering anymore. We're living under an authoritarian president. Donald Trump is back in power. And this time, he is not stumbling. He's strategizing. He's replacing federal workers with loyalists. He's calling for retribution against political enemies. He's weaponizing law enforcement and floating martial law like it's the American people's favorite new thing. This is not democracy with bad manners. This is dictatorship in real time. And what are Democrats doing? I keep asking that question. What are Democrats doing? If you're listening to this podcast, say to yourself right now, what are Democrats doing? What, praying for 2026? Telling us to vote as if voting alone can save a system that's being rigged, corrupted, and overtaken? Where is the emergency response, folks? Where is the right now? Right here, right now. Where are the calls for non-compliance, for state defiance, for constitutional defense? Because right now, Republicans are acting like revolutionaries, and Democrats are acting like hall monitors waiting for a permission slip. When it comes to choice and bodily autonomy, that's another issue. Since Roe was overturned, women's rights have been decimated across the South and Midwest. Now they're coming for IVF, birth control, even emergency care for miscarriages. Women are losing their lives in the ER while lawyers decide if their lives are worth saving. And again, what are the Democrats doing? Repeating the same pro-choice slogans from 2006? Begging people to donate $25 to save reproductive freedoms? Let me ask you, when one side is throwing women in jail and the other side is throwing fundraisers, who do you think is winning? Republicans have turned the womb into a war zone. Democrats are trying to litigate the fallout. We're not fighting. We're trying to litigate the fallout. If you want to do something, stand up and fight for women right now. If you're not willing to protect clinics, fund abortion travel, and defy unjust state laws, then don't call yourself pro-choice. But we see what I hope is light on the horizon, the dawn of a new day. The Epstein Files at least is giving us a little bit of hope, giving me a little bit of hope. The Epstein File debacle has united Democrats and shown that we can indeed fight. We know how to fight. We know how to band together on an issue, that we're not afraid to throw some knockout punches. The Epstein issue is showing that we can be unified in trying to take down the Republican Party, trying to take down some of the corruption. So let me ask the question: when the Epstein Files go away, what the hell will the Democrats still be doing? What will we still be doing? Because right now, I believe that we must change. If the Democratic Party is standing at a crossroads, then we must change. And here's the truth: you can either evolve or get left behind. If you're not willing to change, and I'm not talking about being super progressive, you can be a pragmatic progressive. Just don't be the status quo. No more centrist cowards mouthing unity slogans while the country descends into fascism. We need a party of resistance, not respectability. We need war room energy, not wine cave strategy. We need fighters, not fundraisers. Here's what I believe must happen right now. We've got to be open, and we've got to be willing to name the threat. Say it loud. Trump is an authoritarian. The Republican Party is a fascist movement. We're not debating tax policy. We're fighting for democracy itself. We have to nationalize the resistance. This is not about blue states versus red states. If your governor is banning books, that's not just your problem. That's all of our problem. If your senator is criminalizing abortion, that's not just your fight. That's all of our fight. Federal power must be used, and it must be used right now in any possible way that it can be used. And then we have to support radical, and I mean radical, state action. We need California. We need Illinois. We need New York. We need Michigan. We need every blue state to become sanctuaries for civil liberties, for free abortions, for sanctuary cities, for media freedom, for legal protections. Act like, for once, act like you're the firewall in this country. Act like you're the firewall for everything we believe in, because in reality, you are. You're the only thing that's saving us right now. So we need you to be all in. And then we have to organize outside the party. The movement must outgrow the party. We have to build labor coalitions, build race coalitions, build gender coalitions, build class coalitions. The DNC folks will not save us. They can't save us alone. They can't do it all. Grassroots is what will get us there. Us organizing in our own communities, piecing our own little coalitions of folks together to band together in this moment. That's what'll save us. And then we've got to cut through the noise because Trump owns the media cycle. We have to break through it. We got to use TikTok. We got to use Substack. We got to use podcasts, town halls, live streams, street actions. We have to make noise that can't be ignored in every single way that we can. And we don't have to be on a Joe Rogan podcast or a 10 million follower Instagram. Start finding those central locations in your own communities, those small pockets of people who can move their coalition in a way that pieces together an entire movement. Here's a message to every Democrat in office, to every Democrat in Congress, to every Democrat in a state house or a seat, every Democrat in a city hall or a county level seat. If you are not actively resisting this regime, you are complicit. History is watching you, and the people damn sure are. We don't want your thoughts and prayers on the most pressing issues. We want emergency legislation. We want state defiance. We want legal challenges. We want daily visibility from you. We want real leadership. And if you can't do that, then step aside. Don't put your name on the ballot for another primary. Don't try to seek another term. Step the hell aside. And to the people of this country, to the people of this party, we are not powerless, but we are unrepresented. You're not crazy if you feel like no one is fighting for you. You're not paranoid if you think the system is rigged. You're not extreme for wanting freedom, safety, for wanting dignity, and for wanting truth in this country. So here's the message. Don't wait for November 2026. Fight right now. Organize mutual aid right now. Protect vulnerable communities right now. Protest boldly right now in this moment. Disrupt complacency right now. Build coalitions together right now. And hold every damn politician accountable, blue and red. The House is on fire and Democrats are showing up with a fan. That won't cut it anymore. We need water. We need urgency. We need a goddamn fire brigade of freedom fighters ready to run into the flames. Because we are not just fighting Trump. We are fighting for the America that still exists in our bones, that still exists in our dreams. And our demands at this moment is that you stand up and do something. The Republicans are playing to win by any means necessary. And Democrats, too many of us, are still playing to be liked. While the GOP is burning down the House, Democrats are debating whether it's too soon to yell fire. This is not politics. This, my friends, is survival. This is not left versus right. This is freedom versus fascism. If Democrats want to stay relevant, if they want to lead, they have to stop bringing water balloons to a knife fight. This moment demands boldness, demands urgency, demands action, and demands that you fight fire with fire. Because if we keep waiting for someone else to save us, we'll be waiting in a country we no longer recognize. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit me up on social media at Hendrell Remus, and let's keep this conversation unfiltered. Folks, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And as always, remember, truth matters, people matter, and silence is never neutral. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and never stop asking the hard questions. This is Politics Unfiltered, and I'm out.